it's not so much about somebody saying something nasty about you. It's about how you want others to see you. How do you see yourself and how do you want others to see you? So how do we go about it is what we're going to talk about today, okay? Why do you need to have a digital footprint at all? You can't be physically present. Before internet, what did people do? How did they leave a footprint? They used physical media, whether it was television or newsprint or word of mouth or whatever. They used whatever was available those days. The only problem with all of that, I think it was very effective. The only problem was reach. And reach was not so much a problem as the cost of reach. That was humongous. The kind of numbers you're able to reach on the internet, if you were to look at reaching through a television, a TVC or a newsprint, you would spend an arm and a leg and a whole body too, right? That's probably the biggest, upside. But why do you need to manage your digital footprint? One is that I want the rest of the world to know that I exist. But why do you want to know, why do you want to let the world know that you exist? What's the big deal about it? Why? Why do you need a wider? In other words, what is it called when you differentiate yourself from others? Branding. Most of us assume, most entrepreneurs assume that I will brand myself, my company, when I become big. When my company becomes big. What we don't realize is, literally from day one, you have to brand your organization. And who is your brand's biggest ambassador? You. So you have to brand yourself, and that will have a rub-off effect on your organization. At some point, your organization will shrug you free and build an independent brand by itself. You understand, the effort really should be that you let the company evolve on its own, grow on its own, and become an independent brand entity. Not so much to be known as, Maurya's company. Maurya, yes, but Maurya's company has to have a distinct brand identity. So you are going to manage your digital footprint, not for anything else, purely for branding purposes. Is that clear? Most people, most entrepreneurs assume, particularly those who are active for personal reasons on social media, most entrepreneurs assume that I'm used to it and I can manage my digital footprint for my company as well. Take it from me, you can't. You can either run your company or you can manage your digital footprint. You can't do both. This is a bloody time-consuming, nerve-wracking exercise. So you have to choose between the two. But because it's your company, it makes logical sense that you run the company and you look for a digital media agency that will manage your digital footprint. That makes a lot of sense, right? So what should you look for from your digital marketing agency? Typically, these are the services that you ought to be getting: a website design, lead generation. What is lead generation? So what is the workflow? Let's say you have a website, right? Any of you has a website? Okay, so you have a website. What's the typical workflow? You created a website, maybe you sent out mailers and you said, hey, I exist and this is what you do, right? Then what happens? No. Before that, don't jump the gun. Before that, I created a website, right? I sent out mailers. What next what's the next item in the workflow? If life is so simple that I made a website and customers flock to me, you and I would be billionaires. So I created awareness. You are all my potential customers, so I have all your mail IDs, right? I sent out mailers to you. What next? What's the next step? Think logically, don't think Wikipedia. If that conveys my attitude, so be it. Does it suit me? I care two hoots. Because no one's talked about it. So content marketing is about talking about what is synergistic, what is peripheral, what is relevant, sometimes not even directly connected. But does it draw traffic to my website or to my Facebook page? Absolutely. You understand? That's what you're really focusing on. Social media marketing, we're going to go into detail on all of this. Blogging, email, online reputation management. What am I talking about here? So should I be worried that somebody left a negative, mark on me? Not really? I should be worried about it? So what do I do? So you should attend to it. Attend as in how? So be proactive. I don't know how many of you saw this news item. Dell laptop. There was an international conference, medical conference in Osaka, and there were 80,000 people attending the conference. The person who was speaking from the lectern was using a Dell laptop, and the laptop caught fire in full view of 80,000 people. So Dell being Dell, the instant knee-jerk reaction was to deny it was a Dell laptop. Somebody from the branding team said, you can't do that. You'll kick up a storm. Because everybody saw it was Dell. I mean, the wire that was hanging your charger had Dell written all over it. You can't do that. So what do we do? Like you said. So what did Dell do? Very smart thing. So they blogged about it. So they said, hey guys, you all must have seen the YouTube video now, how, at Osaka our laptop caught fire. We were all devastated. Thank God there were no casualties. Even the person speaking did not suffer even minor injuries. But you know what? We investigated why it caught fire, and we realized it was because of the battery. And you know what, guys? The same battery is used by Panasonic, is used by Samsung, is used by IBM, is used by the entire bloody world and its mother. Net is what? What am I saying? That it was just one of those coincidences. It happened to me. It could have happened to any of these big guys. Beautifully online reputation managed. Not by shoving it under the carpet, but confronting it, accepting it and saying, hey guys, could have happened to anybody. So happened that it happened to me. You understand? Whose online reputation are we talking about? By and large, the entrepreneur and the organization are interconnected. If the entrepreneur has a brilliant reputation, some of the nasty things the company does also for a while can be managed. Right? But if the entrepreneur unfortunately has an integrity issue, however wonderful the organization is, there is a rub-off effect. So you have to be very careful how you manage the entrepreneur's image and how you manage the organization's image. There should be a connect and there should be a disconnect, which is why I'm saying it's very important you have your digital media agency. What do I mean by social website? Why am I calling it a social website? About 5 years ago, people used to say static or dynamic. Anybody remembers that? What is a static website? Not only no interaction, same content forever and ever and ever. No change in the content. Why? Because I need the website only as brochureware. Instead of having a physical brochure, I have a digital brochure. That's all I'm interested in. That used to be called a static website. Dynamic website typically was one where blogging and all didn't exist so much in those days, but if somebody came to my site to transact, if he could place an order, I didn't have a payment gateway at that time, but if he could place an order on my site saying, ask your salesperson to contact me, I am interested in your product, then it became a dynamic website. In today's context, what is static, what is dynamic? Static doesn't exist at all. What is dynamic? Dynamic today is it's not enough to just have a website. What else do you need?